Okay, so welcome to this preview of the NBA after Thanksgiving, when they have a rest day over there. And we do compile those prices as well now with the Betmaster tool, which has the ability now to compile football and basketball, and there will be more sports to come, like ice hockey, NHL maybe, but also in Germany or Switzerland, Austria, they are playing ice hockey. Or we have handball as well, and so on. And they are working with similar or the same algorithms, but you have to be a bit careful with the sports specifics sometimes of a certain sports. Also the American football, of course, would be very exciting. Now we compare here, or if you like the tool, or if you like the videos, subscribe to my channel, leave a like here. And if you like the Betmaster tool, get your access to it, including the NBA, which is already working on a pretty good standard, but we still could get better. We have a problem here at the moment with the totals to be scored, because in NBA they have a new ball. Obviously, this seems to be the reason. New provider, and as it seems, they don't seem to be able to score so many points, and it's a difference of 9 or 9 points maybe per game on average, which makes it difficult for us at the moment to evaluate, because I still think they might get used to it or things have changed, but the tool will anyway do its adjustments. But as soon as we witness something, huge deviations, then we would say, well, watch out. If you know better, you can do that, or you can even adjust those settings to a different standard. In the Clippers against Pistons 113-651, computer would here say maybe go with the Pistons. Of course, we don't want them, and so on. But still, we can check here that in fact Clippers, I know that's preseason included and so on, so it's a bit messy here, but still it tells us they are behind, and they are also a bit behind, but not awfully behind. So if you like the Pistons, I mean, I know we can also look at the shape. So because we can do this now, at least you need a little bit more support in that to evaluate the games themselves, that you need some statistics here, and they are there. The Clippers have lost 3 of the last 4, so not an excellent shape anyway. I also have the standings over here in case they lost the last 4, and they lost them by quite some margin. If you look at those bars here, they tell us red ones are bad ones, blue ones are good ones. So in a certain sense, they are evenly good or bad. So the 671 in fact would be, or 651 would be something to check here, but I know that it rarely happens. Still, it should happen in 20% of the cases to make you a long-term winner. So 1 out of 5 games they should win, and it's good enough. So we know most likely they are going to lose. Still, in case it doesn't happen, we have enough money in return. I didn't check these, or, well, I make up my mind myself. Hornets against Timberwolves, we have here a 160, computer says, and there is a 172. Now we can check here as well if the Hornets are any bad, which they aren't, and the Timberwolves as well are good, but the others are even better, with plenty of wins in the last games, and they also in fine shape. So if these two match, we understand that well, they play against the side that are in fine shape, but still computer suggests this here. If you know something about team use or things like that, back to back we won't have at the moment after Thanksgiving, but 160, 172 is not far apart, but then it's even more reliable. In the Knicks against Suns, Knicks are still fine, but Suns, of course, a lot better. They may even be top of the whole campaign here, 244, 169, so we are fine. We could even consider Suns 168, 169, not miles apart, which is a little surprise to me, because I do not like the Knicks so much at the moment, while the Suns are just cruising. And Magic against Bulls, 359, 139, 359. Here it would suggest us maybe to think about Magic. We don't really want them, while the Bulls are doing fine. They are doing excellent. You see that. I look at this figure in the first place, and if this one is very good and this one is bad, then there's enough reason to adjust this from 359 to 415. And why not? I don't want them at the moment, although the compilations are intended to be good, but you still have some individual manual or human kind of adjustment. If you like it or you trust those figures, you can still, of course, try. We didn't check the lines at the moment. They are usually close, but there we might sometimes find even something different or better bets, if you like that, right? If you like the Pistons, and maybe you get a +10 or a plus 12 or something like that, right? Or +13 even. Or and a half. In this one, Raptors are, computer says they are favorites, which, well, but in the long run, they are still, Pacers are a bit behind. Also, if you check out here, well, evenly 2 wins in 6, not very good shape, but they are also just average teams. But to consider the Raptors favorites is a bit daring, maybe. But computer says here they are no worse, or maybe even better, and then I had to check it here, or ticket, or what would you say, selected. And in the Grizzlies against Hawks 190-12, that is very accurate, or agreeing with the market. City Thunder against the Wizards 296-151. Here it would suggest us once again the home side, and we check out if we are happy with them. They are actually not that awful, but a couple of losses in a row, but they also lost 4 out of the last 5, which is the case here as well. But they had been coming close with 6 and 8 and 6, and here it's 7, so they lost by some small margins. While the Wizards lost by 15 and 6, okay, they won 1 with 3, they lost by 15. Okay, so I would say we can dare to select the City Thunder. And in the Spurs against the Celtics, I think computer even fancies Spurs are favorites here. That sounds a bit silly, but we look on that one. Oh, that's pretty bad here, -10, -3. Boston Celtics also not in excellent shape. That's too many losses, right? 6 in a row, while they are finding their shape. They lost the last one badly against the Nets with 19. But still, I would say we rather stay away. Of course, I should adjust the settings here, but I'm not going to do this on screen, or would I have to do it? I mean, the Spurs are just a bit overrated, right? If you want to do adjustments here, but they are, well, they are not average, but you can do it 0.99 it was, and maybe we make it 0.97 or something like that, right? And the others were Boston Celtics, well, they are actually well evaluated, right? I can't see the problem there, really. I mean, they are average or a bit better, but no more than that, right? So this is at least, I mean, if you have your access to the tool, then of course the whole benefits you will only get if you, I don't know what happened here, but if you know how to adjust those settings, right? But we can always look at it together, right? If you ask me or something like that, right? I've done plenty of coachings and introducing people to that, and after 1 or 2 coaching sessions you will be able to. That's 226 Well, now we would be close enough, which makes me happy already. And average, well, we are very close now, so some very tiny adjustment makes it already no bad, or if you want to, you can do it. I would stay away now, and if you saw that, then maybe we could still adjust them a bit lower and the others a bit higher maybe. And then we would be there, right? So it would not be an indication anymore. And Nuggets against Bucks, here computer says they are favorites. It doesn't feel like, but on the other hand, oh yeah, they are minus, but Bucks are minus as well. We look at the relative form, oh, once again, loss, loss, loss against win, win, win. Now, well, in this case, what we can also do is, no, this looks awful to me. And what we can do is simply, no, obviously we can't do it here, but we don't have to. But in fact, I would say, of course, we stay away here. 5 losses against 5 wins. It couldn't be more diverse, or yeah, then we don't want to do it. But of course, we would love to adjust the settings here as well. Yeah, Nuggets and fully out of shape. Of course, that should take its toll here, but maybe we set them to average or 1.006 or something like that, right? Simply go down. And the Bucks, we all know, right? They are playing the Bucks, are they? Yeah, of course. And Bucks are the champions, right? So maybe after these many wins, we maybe exaggerate a bit, but I want, and also just would like to take you the fear of adjusting things here, right? Of course, you don't want to, and if you are not happy with a new price we are getting now, then you can still say, so I'm gonna take it back, or I'm gonna adjust it a bit more, right? Now we would have the Bucks favorites, but still the price would be obviously 244. Well, but in this case, I mean, now I'm gonna check it here, select it, because I say, well, I've done the adjustment already, which wouldn't necessarily have to be done, although, well, we saw the 5 losses and 5 wins, but the adjustments are being done already, right? Utah Jazz 123, 541. I mean, we don't want the Pelicans for sure, right? For this value. So even if we get more than 541, which will be the case, yeah, 623, we definitely don't need to do that. Warriors, that's 139. We have a 137 here. So we could even consider the former top side. Here's a small difference, but they are winning, they are winning, they are winning. While the Trailblazers are also in very, very decent shape, I have to admit. But still, if the computer tells me, then I wouldn't hesitate. I mean, also just to make it a demonstration here, that you see this is more than 137. The computer is doing a very, very decent job here. In the Lakers against Kings, I'm sure a computer wants the Kings. Would we agree here? Kings, I don't, yeah, that's 4 losses, but they also have 4 losses in 6, and the Lakers have been really downgraded a bit, minus 15 plus 3. I mean, in this case, once again, we would have to follow the computer's guide here, although we all know the Lakers and usually they are very well supported and so on. But actually, they have a much tougher campaign right now. Although they may have improved to, that's the West here. No, 10-10. They are still not in the playoff zone here, whereby those places are something. What are they? But anyway, they are. They would like to be a bit higher. 10-10 is not great. And they are taking on, how can I forget that? The Kings, of course, that's also West. 7-12. I mean, I agree that 10-10 is better than 7-12, and they are always rated higher. But as we witnessed now, both in, well, at least not a big difference in their shape, right? I mean, the Lakers can't get a real good run going. They at least won the last one, although they lost a couple. You can check here with 8, with 18, okay, with 19, that's no good, with 10, and then they won again against the Pistons, okay, which is an easier one, but beating the Trailblazers is fine. Well, anyway, I mean, that there is an indication, so we could select this one. So we do have a couple here. All of them are close, or we can argue about them, but still you see that the tool is doing a very good job, and if you want to adjust things, you can easily do it, and you can compile the prices so as to represent markets prices. Then you would be fine for this match day, but for the next match day you would have differences again. Of course, then you can say, well, every match is individual, but I don't think they are compiling the prices like that. So they have their ratings and rankings and so on, and based on that they compile the prices. But of course, market is doing its adjustments with the bets that are coming in, and still in America it should be pretty well worked out here, but still we wouldn't give up. I mean, it's very marginal, the differences we bet on anyway, right? If it's a 139, 137, how many of these games would you need to bet on until you see who is right with it, right? You have plenty of wins and a couple of losses, and then you say, okay, in the long run, who's doing better, right? Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and everything else I said in the beginning of the video. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.